So within this video we're going to be talking about grit. Not only grit, but why is it important and how can it impact on people becoming successful? Well, grit is defined as a child's perseverance and passion for long-term goals. Current research on grit suggests that your child's ability to work hard, endure struggle, fail and try again may be the key determining his or her long-term success and happiness. So, what actually makes a person gritty? Well, grit is a combination of passion, resilience, determination and focus that allows a person to maintain discipline and optimism to persevere in their goals. Within this, the person will face discomfort, rejection and a lack of progress for years or even decades before they reach their intended goal. A key example of this would be Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy was playing football within the conference. He had a part-time job at a factory. He would be somebody that I would describe as being gritty. For example, he had the passion to succeed, so he worked his way up from the conference. He managed to sign for Fleetwood, who were at the time in League 2, and then he managed to sustain a deal at Leicester City, where he is now playing for England. So through his passion to succeed, his resilience to not give up and keep trying even when the going got tough, his determination to succeed, so he believed in his own ability and he wasn't going to stop until he did succeed, and his focus to achieve that goal has got him where he is today. But why does a person need to be gritty to succeed? Well, after study, it has come to the conclusion that people who may be smart, talented, and come from stable, loving homes don't generally succeed if they don't know how to work hard, remain committed to their goals, and persevere through struggles and failure. A key thing that stood out for me here is that struggle and failure. So if you think about the top footballers in the world, if you think about Messi, although he is where he is now, and he is now enjoying thousands and thousands of compliments, success, trophies, goals, achievements, he once did struggle and fail. In terms of when he was in Argentina and he had to come over to Spain, he had to leave his family at a young age. He had to take he had to take drugs to make him more physically able to compete. So therefore he did have struggle and failure, but look at how he has overcome that and where he is today. So, what are the problems with grit? Well, the statement here from Angela Duckworth that grit is living life that is a marathon and not a sprint. So people may think that they can be born with grit or it may be embedded with them, but becoming gritty takes a long time. So they have to have failure, they have to try again, which also links in with the image of the clock. So if you're prepared to try something, fail and give up, then the likelihood of you becoming successful is very slim. You have to be able to treat it like a marathon. So fail, try again. If you fail again, try again. And people won't be counting how many times you fail. So if you're willing to and determined and hardworking to succeed, then that's what makes a person gritty. However, some people are not like that. For example, Mario Balotelli, he's where he is today, but people may say that he's not where he could be. So he could be right at the top level, playing European football at a high standard. For example, one of the top teams in Europe, but he didn't have that grit to him, so he didn't have the hard work, the determination. He wasn't prepared to fail and overcome that to try and succeed. So, this leads me on to how may coaches cultivate grit? Well, for me personally, I feel that coaches should be able to set people up for failure. By this, I mean not playing the person for the whole season to show him what failure looks like, but I mean maybe doing something in training, for example, setting them up to fail, so knowing that there isn't a solution to that problem and making sure that that person fails so they know what failure feels like and see how they react to that. So if they react to it in a positive way, so they keep trying and they keep trying to succeed, then that is something that you would identify as that person being gritty. Also, maybe leaving a person on the bench for a game if they're used to starting. This may think, right, I'm going to show the coach what I can do here, rather than sulking. Again, that would describe a person as being gritty. In terms of that question of how may coaches cultivate grit, it is an extremely difficult process. How do we do that so we don't upset or make children angry? It's an extremely difficult process. And finally, in 2004 and 2006, Angela Duckworth conducted a test with a bunch of researchers that tested grit and self-control at West Point cadets. The summer program, known as the Beast Barracks, is designed to push cadets to their mental and emotional limits, so much that about 1 in 20 cadets drop out. After taking the measurements, the researchers looked for the correlation between the retention rates and the scores. This then led to their grit scores and their self-discipline, which was the grit that was predicted retention better than any other score. This outlined the people that were gritty or defined as gritty, and the people that were not able to actually come across as gritty and show the characteristics of having grit.